Happiness cannot be chased. It cannot be forced. We cannot worry about the fact that we don't have it, because that will just lead us further away from happiness. And the only way to be truly happy is to forget about happiness and to focus on peace, which is available right here and now. To make peace with our unhappiness. And when we do that, happiness inevitably follows. For most of my life, I spent it outwardly, thinking that if I just had enough pleasure, that I would be happy, that I would find a way to make it through some of the burdens of being alive. It was only when I met a man by accident who showed me how to see through that endless chase for more. How to turn inward to face any trauma and challenges, and to begin to heal what I didn't even know needed healing. And that accidental encounter led to a 15-year journey within, to find out who I was beneath my past, my conditioning, and my culture. Beyond my name and my body. And over the course of this video, I will be sharing everything I learned on this journey. Because when everybody lives in balance and harmony within themselves, we will be able to live in balance and harmony with this planet. What does success even look like? Is it $1 million in the bank? Is it 10 million? Do we really think that if we have $10 million, we will finally be able to relax? That we will finally be able to have our minds stop worrying? Or will that money maybe go down 5% in the stock market and we get all that anxiety back? Or maybe it goes up and we get overwhelmed with excitement and we just stay on that roller coaster. And we always have that fear of losing it. There is no true picture of success that will bring about lasting happiness. There is only inner success, which is to be free from those worries, fears, and anxieties. And only from that place can we appreciate whatever level of success we already have and whatever we may continue to achieve. External achievements will only bring about external results. If we have a certain level of wealth, we may be able to afford better foods and be able to take time off. And that can all help nourish our physical body. But the body itself is external to who we really are. And who we really are is that consciousness, that life force energy that brings to life this body, that brings to life this mind. And when we recognize that inner beingness, we realize that no external achievement can fulfill it, and no external success can bring about a deeper sense of peace within us. And that can only come from internal achievement. There's a fine line between respecting other people's opinions and also being true to ourselves. We want to be respectful, we want to be compassionate, we want to be loving, but we also have this one gift of life, this one short, precious gift that we cannot squander. And if we do it correctly, if we do it in balance, we can honor other people and their wishes while staying true to ourselves. Only you can know what is right for you. Sometimes moms know best, and sometimes moms grew up in a different world and things were scarier, and she may be coming from a place of fear. Look deep within. Take in the input from others, but at the end of the day, make a decision that aligns with who we truly are deep down, so that we are not creating inner conflict, so we don't look back on our lives and realize we lived someone else's life. If we are experiencing a great deal of stress and we feel like we're bordering on burnout, or maybe we've burned out already, it's not that we need to change our jobs. It's not that we need a long vacation, even if our vacation days are all used up. The answer is to address the root cause of that stress and burnout, which is never the task we're doing. We can do our most dreaded chore with the same amount of love, excitement, and enthusiasm as our favorite pleasure. The only difference is internal. Are we embracing it? Are we present with it? Are we looking forward to it? Or are we creating mental resistance? Are we believing a mental story about why it sucks, why we wish it wasn't happening, why we can't wait for it to be over with? This is the root cause. There is absolutely no reason that we can't love any dreaded task as much as our favorite pleasure. When I was a former ad man, writing commercials and ad campaigns, after a meeting where everybody loved my concepts, I was the greatest ad man in the history of the world. And after a meeting where they would say, let's go back to the drawing board, let's start over. Let's go, let's scrap these and start again. I was a failure. I was the worst. I was a waste of space in that office. And I would never come up with an idea ever again. I've been a fraud my whole life. And that, I only discovered years later, is the ego seeking praise and fearing and resisting criticism. And the truth of the matter is, the opinion of the world does not reveal truth. It reveals what's in their mind at this moment. And sometimes, especially in advertising, that is more about following trends than creating something new and beautiful and meaningful that can have a bigger impact. So, your truth is equally valid to the 7.9 billion other people on this planet. Attachment to achievement and identity are the greatest sources of immense suffering in our world. If we have millions and lose it all, if we have a great high-powered job and we lose it, these are when we suffer far more than if we never had them. And the way to deal with that is to recognize that just because we had it, we weren't promised a future with it. We had an imagined future with that wealth, with that title. But we weren't promised it. We are only fantasizing, creating an illusion. And when we realize that we were just lucky to have it, period, then we can achieve in peace and lose in peace. And we won't drain that energy needlessly so that we can actually go out and achieve it again without dwelling on the past. The key to letting go of our ego and desires is to simply recognize the suffering they cause, to recognize that they take us further away from peace and happiness, that they separate us from the oneness of the universe. Only when we believe the ego and we believe the desires that come through the ego do we think that the desires will set us free, will bring us happiness. And when we feel that way, we will chase pleasures, eat endlessly, consume mental junk, and constantly be running away from ourselves in search of those external desires. And only when we see that fundamentally can we stop the brain running constantly and actually have a true, deep moment of rest. And that is when we will realize a deeper peace and joy than we've ever known. And then we will start creating the conditions for more of those moments. Mindful presence is simply looking at the world the same way you look at a beautiful flower for the first time, or a beautiful sunset over the ocean for the first time. And the only difference between that and any other moment in our lives is we are not giving our full, undivided attention. We determine that only the spectacular deserves our full attention. But when we give everything our full attention, everything becomes spectacular. Finding contentment in the present moment simply means recognizing that the here and now is better than any imagined place we may wish to escape to in our mind. It is recognizing the only thing that exists, reality, this universe, only exists in this moment. There is no other place to be besides the fantasy of a grasping mind. And grasping, like climbing a mountain, and we are clinging on to every rock and boulder. It takes immense strength and effort. And when we let go, metaphorically, and we don't fall, we find that we are held up by this universe, and we can relax and rest. Whether you are new to spirituality or you've been on the path for a long time, this book, Aloneness to Oneness, 22 Life Lessons to Change the Way You See the World, is for you. It encapsulates all of the teachings, wisdom, and insights I gained on my 9-year journey living in ashrams and monasteries with gurus, monks, and shamans around the world. And if you would like to explore in more depth the topics I bring up in the film Aloneness to Oneness, this book is for you. All of the profits will go to a nonprofit organization dedicated to making sure that these life-changing and healing teachings are available to every single person on the planet. And thanks to your generous support already, these books can be found in prisons across the United States. We will be working to continue getting these books into the hands of people who need it so that everybody can have the path to healing and self-actualization for themselves, their communities, and our planet.